Okay, so now we are being recorded. What gets recorded is what appears up on the screen up there with any sounds laid over the top of it. The mic is relatively sensitive, so stray comments in the room sometimes get picked up. So just a warning that don't say anything that you don't want picked up and posted on the internet. You should have two textbooks. You have a main textbook that looks like this. And then if you're in the woods, you should have a second one that looks like this. Now, for those of you in broadband, you guys have one that says for electricians or electronics technicians. I've got a copy of that one somewhere. I've got to find it. What'll happen, we'll do our generic lectures and we'll try to do some applications from both groups. Some of your homework will come out of the large textbook. A lot of your homework in this first semester will come out of that small textbook, so that it's a little bit more specific to your program. The textbooks are set up kind of nice that they kind of run together like that. Are you either Todd or Patrick? Todd, okay. We just started going over the textbook, what textbook you need. Okay, well, being new, how many of you have used Blackboard or logged into Blackboard? Some of you, most of you have. So you know how to get in there. Just from our main page up on top here, you click Blackboard and you'll log in. I believe you guys are the second one. So when you go into Blackboard, Blackboard for this class, by the way, is not required. If you never use Blackboard, you won't be missing anything. However, there will be some extra things in there that will be very handy to have. This is just a welcome announcement telling you what's in here. If you click on Course Tools, you can actually use that to email classmates. Several different things in here, but one of them, which will be email, you can click on Send Email, and it'll actually allow you then to pick out which classmates you want to send an email to if you need to get a hold of someone. You can email me through there as well. Where most of the useful stuff is going to be is in course information. Right now you have my contact information there, and we'll see that again in a second in the syllabus. We have the syllabus here, which we're going to look at. A copy of my schedule, which I'll pull up quick. Okay, so you can see there, you can see where your guys' class is listed there and my other classes. Any place where it says office or assigned time, I will be available to answer questions. Generally, I'll be in this classroom. If I'm not here, I'm usually wandering around the building. I'm almost never up in the office area. So it's a look here for me first. If you don't find me here, either wait and I'll be back or leave a message or something for me. Also, what will be here below this, right now there's nothing there because this is our first class, but below this is where I will list the links to the videos for the course. I'm going to open up the syllabus. Now I'm going to go to a different course so you can see what the videos look like. So this will be the syllabus in just a second. What the videos will look like is pretty much, we're in a summer class here. So they have the same thing here in the course information, the instructor information, the syllabus, and you'll see links to videos. Some of these, depending on what internet browser you're using, sometimes you can click on them and the link will work. The easiest and most efficient way to make them work, though, is to highlight them and copy them and then paste it into the browser. And it'll take you to YouTube. And we don't need to hear that. That's all it is just the YouTube video. So those are posted out there publicly. They are not restricted. So like I said, don't say anything in class that you don't want posted out there for everybody to see. If you do need to ask me a question or whatever and you don't want it to be recorded, just let me know and I can pause the recording or whatever so it's not out there. On the other side of it, if you have friends that for some reason want to watch your math class, feel free to share that link with them and they can watch all they want to. If you really want to, you can invite friends over on a Saturday night and pop some popcorn and make an evening of it. If you charge at the door, I get half of the gate. Okay. On a serious note, here's our syllabus. Most of this is stuff you've seen already. That's my name and contact information. My email is right there, todd.hoff@witc.edu. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I check my email at least a couple times a day, so I'll get it pretty quickly. If you can't get to a computer to send an email, that is my extension and WITC's phone number. And I do actually have it now so that I get an email notice when I get a voicemail. I am never in my office. I go up there maybe 3 times a week to make sure I don't have mail piling up on my desk. That's about it. But I do get a notice of those in my email now if you leave me a message on my phone. Other than that, you guys know where we're at, so you're here already, so you know where the course is. Basic description of the course. This is technical mathematics for the trades. So you guys are woods and broadband. By the way, those of you in broadband, don't be offended if I mess up and say telecommunications, because that was the name of your program for like 14 years, and they've just switched it in the last couple of years. So if I say telecommunications, I'm referring to you guys. Textbook we've went over, learner supplies. A scientific calculator, it's not necessarily required, but it is highly recommended. By highly recommended, I mean it's almost impossible to get through the course without one. If you have any sort of scientific calculator that you had to use in high school, chances are it's good enough. If you're not sure, let me know and I'll look at it and let you know. If you don't have one, I always recommend the TI-30, Texas Instruments TI-30. It's like 12 or 13 bucks. You know, you don't have to get the newest, fanciest one. You can get the, just as long as it's a Model 2, which means there's a 2-line display in it. The reason I recommend that one because it does fractions really easily and does all the other trig functions that you'll need. For those of you in woods, you will have to take a second semester of math in the spring, so that calculator handles all the trig and stuff for that class as well. For those of you in broadband, depending on whether you're doing the 1 year or the 2 year, if you're doing the 1 year tech diploma, I don't believe you have to take the math in the second semester. If you're doing the 2 year, you will have a second semester math in the spring. So make sure you've got a calculator that's going to work. People ask me all the time about their cell phones. My experience with the cell phone calculators, they don't work very well. You're welcome to try it if you really want to, but I haven't had much luck getting them to work. There are a couple of apps out there that do, you know, up until the last year or so, the cell phone calculators haven't done fractions, but there are a couple of applications now you can get that do work with fractions on the cell phones. Competencies for the course. So this here is the big one. These are the topics for this course here. And you can see we're starting out with working with fractions, decimals, and whole numbers and doing conversions. Excuse me, basic algebra with order of operations. We do a lot with ratio and proportion and percents, a lot. Measurement and measurement conversions is also a big part of the course. Then there's a considerable amount of algebra, solving equations, applying formulas, combining algebraic numbers. We do a lot of areas and volumes using algebraic formulas, so you can get good at that. Just because it's very important in both of your fields to be able to do some basic areas and volumes. And then, you know, solving equations, manipulating formulas and algebraic equations, and even a little with solving equations, we do a little bit even with systems of equations. Like I said, all that, we try to relate it back to your program so you can see where it's used in your occupation. Now, if you're looking at that list of topics that I showed here on these 2 pages, and you're thinking, that stuff I already know, come and talk to me. If it's stuff that you're just really sure you know how to do it and are afraid you might get bored in the class for the semester because you already know it all, come and talk to me. We do have a test out procedure. I want to make sure that before anybody goes and signs up for that test out, though, that I talk to you and make sure you know exactly what to expect and make sure you study for it. I have students every year that try the test out because they had all this stuff in high school, but it's been a few months and some of it fades. They'll take the test out and they'll get like 60% on the test out, which is not passing because they didn't study and they just didn't know exactly what to expect. So come and talk to you and I'll make sure you know exactly what to expect on it if it's something you're interested in. The test out for this class, I believe, still costs $60 to attempt it. Within the first week. You have to have it done by Friday, yes. If you don't pass it, you just lose your $60 and you're stuck in here with me for the semester. If you do pass it, you still lose your $60, but you do get your tuition back for the course, which is like $460 or $470. And if you do that, if you want to come and sit in the classroom just so you don't miss anything or to review for next spring, that's fine with me. Technically, I'm not supposed to do that. I can't grade your papers or anything like that for you, but you can sit in the classroom. Grading. Grading in here is two parts. 80% of your grade is your unit tests. There are, I think it's 4 unit tests in this course. And then quizzes. Your quizzes will be unit tests. I'll give you at least a day or two warning that they're coming up. Quizzes usually are unannounced and they usually happen about anywhere from 2 to 5 hours of class. You will have a quiz before the end of this first week. It'll come up. The quizzes are kind of my way of judging how everybody's doing. So they'll be anywhere from 8 points up to 20 points. And it's kind of my way of keeping track of do I need to stop and go back over stuff, or are we good to go on? The other 20% is homework and participation. Now, with that said, I will almost never collect your homework. The main reason for that is I don't view homework as a grading tool. I view it as a learning tool. And also, looking back at that list of topics, some of the ones at the very beginning are extremely simple. I don't want you guys going home at night and doing a bunch of homework problems on topics you already know how to do. To me, that's busy work and that's not part of learning. If you start the homework and the first couple of problems are real easy, do the first couple of problems and skip ahead a dozen problems or so and try some more difficult ones. If they're real easy, skip ahead further. I mean, you may only do 5 or 6 homework problems and be sure that you know how to do it. As long as you're confident you know how to do it and are ready for the quizzes when they come around, that's what I'm concerned with on the homework. Occasionally, there may be an assignment I hand out to you to do that I say, and I'll warn you, I'm going to collect this and make sure you get it done. Like I said, there will only be a few of those. Part of it is, like I said, is because homework is for learning. The other is I have, this semester, I think I only have like 108 students that go through my classroom. There's no way I could grade everybody's homework every day. Grading scale is the standard WITC grading scale. Other things. If you need to drop the course, if you're getting partway through and you think you need to drop the course, there is a deadline that comes in about week 12 or 13. So for any reason, if there's something going on you think you might need to, talk to me and I'll make sure that we don't miss those deadlines. Occasionally I have a student drop because they're struggling and they don't want the bad grade on their transcript. I will say this, I've almost never had a student that shows up every day for this class, does their homework, and doesn't pass. This is my 18th year teaching this course, and I think I've maybe had 4 or 5 students in 18 years that showed up and did all their homework and didn't pass. And I'm only teaching 2 sections of this class now, but I've taught as many as 4 sections in a semester. So I've had a lot of students come through this class and very few that didn't make it through. So being here and doing the work is really what matters. Other than that, student code of conduct, well, don't cheat. You guys, I shouldn't have to go into too much detail there. Cheating can be anywhere from copying off of somebody else or just working together when you're not supposed to. A lot of my homework and stuff, I don't care if you work together. In fact, a lot of times I'll give you 10 or 15 minutes at the end of each hour to work on homework. And working together is just fine. I'll also be here to ask questions during that time too. Quizzes and stuff like that, some of those I will send home with you. I will, unless I specifically tell you it's okay to work together on a quiz, the quizzes you should be doing on your own. If you have any needs, whether it's a diagnosed disability or just you've always struggled with math or whatever, please talk to me. Whether I need to put you in a private room to do a test or a quiz, extra time, there's always unlimited time on my quizzes and tests, by the way. So no need to worry about time constraints. You know, whatever you need, come and talk to me. We can almost always find something that can help you out. Since my goal to get you through the course, not to try to flunk you out. So just communicate with me and let me know what you need. Podcasts and videos. Like I said, the classes are recorded. Those recordings are posted publicly on the internet. Technically, I'm supposed to tell you they are property of WITC and WITC can use them for advertising or whatever, but let's face it, if they need to advertise, they're not using math class. Way more exciting things they can advertise than that. And then the units for the course, we're going to have real numbers, which are fractions, decimals, whole numbers. Measurement and volume and areas is a big unit. Variables, equations, and algebra, and then systems equations actually a fourth unit. Any questions on policies or procedures? I'm sure you guys have seen enough of those today to thoroughly bore you into submission. Okay, what I'm going to do